What's up, everybody? Thanks for clicking this video. Thanks for tuning into my channel. My name is Simon Hill, Black American from Louisiana, coming to you live from Budapest, Hungary. Today is May 11th, 2024. It's about 2:38 p.m. where I'm at right now. I have about 20 minutes until I have to go to work, and I just wanted to give a shout out to all of my new subscribers who have been subbing my channel. So in the past week, I've gotten around 100 new subscribers. The last time I checked, it's about 94. By the end of the day, it might be around 100 or something, or by Sunday, it might be 100. I don't know. But, you know, my channel usually gains about 30 to 40 new subs a week, about 2,500 views every 48 hours, something like that. A lot of comments, a lot of shares, a lot of engagement for my small channel that I just partially do on the side. And I'm very thankful and grateful to everybody who's been subbing my content and coming into my content, especially the Muslims. Salam alaikum to all of you. As you know, if you've been following my content, I'm a Muslim myself. Though I am not a practicing Muslim, though I am not a practitioner of all of the things that a Muslim should do, though I am not a person who avoids the haram all the time, I do believe in Allah. I believe in his prophet. I believe in the day of judgment, of the coming back of Jesus. I believe in the day of Yom Al-Qiyamah, right? And I truly believe in all of those things, right? Yavoma Tayoma, Mr. Pom Pom says, yo, what's up, man? Love from Saudi Arabia. Aheb Al Saudi, salam alaikum to you. Shout out to Vayoma, and shout out to all the Muslims around the world, right? So on my channel, I started doing travel content, right? So I started traveling to a lot of different countries around the world. As you see, Serbia, Tunisia, Turkey, Tanzania, Kenya, Mauritius, a lot of places, right? And the thing that's the most interesting to me, or at least one of the things that's the most interesting to me, is seeing the Muslims in different parts of the world, which is why I have the videos on my channel of me going to pray at mosques in Albania, in Kosovo, in Turkey, and stuff like that, right? Because one of the most beautiful things about being part of the Ummah is the diversity of our community, right? I think Allah said, you know, he's made us the most diverse, the biggest Ummah, right? And we're the most blessed Ummah, of course. So, this is one thing that I really want to show. And every time I travel, I want to try to do those videos covering the Muslims in every single country, because Muslims are everywhere. I'm in Hungary right now, and I have not, gone to the masjids. Well, I've went to a masjid, right? But I couldn't stay because of time constraints with work and stuff like that. But I want to show how the Ummah is here as well, right? But I want everybody to know this, Once again, I am not a sheikh. I am not an alim. I am just a humble man, right? And though I am a Muslim, that is part of my identity. It is not the totality of my identity, and it is not the primary focus of my channel. It's a part of my content channel. It's a part of my content here. Pelis Vanslo says, salam alaikum from Finland. Wa alaikum salam to Finland. I would love to go to Finland and see how the Ummah is there too. That would be great. That would be awesome. But once again, I want to fight back a little bit against this positive reinforcement that I'm getting from the Ummah. And I want to say thank you once again to everybody who's been subbing my channel and showing me love with the comments and the likes and the hearts and everything. Because on my channel, because I mostly talk about anti-Black racism and how prevalent anti-Black racism throughout the world, including the Muslim Ummah, I get a lot of pushback and negativity, which is one of the biggest problems I have with the Ummah in general. So this is the thing, right? All the Muslims around the world are concerned about Palestine. We all want Palestine to be free. We all want the genocide in Gaza to stop. But if I were to sit here and talk for an hour and a half about the anti-Black racism that the Afro-Palestinians face, a lot of Muslims in Saudi Arabia, in Finland, in Gaza, in Palestine, in the West Bank would start attacking me. Now, that is a big problem, and this is something that I have to keep in mind. A part of me has to fight back against this positive reinforcement that I'm getting from so many people, especially the Muslims, and I love that I'm getting positive comments and hearts and loves and everything like that. But I want to say this. and I want to make this absolutely clear. Nothing is more un-Islamic than anti-Black racism. Nothing is more anti-Islamic than hating other people. Nothing is more anti-Islamic than calling black people racial slurs. Nothing is more anti-Islamic than saying, I will not pray beside or behind a black man. Nothing is more anti-Islamic than saying that because you are black, you cannot do this. And these are things that I heard with my own ears traveling throughout the Arab world and the Muslim world in general. Things that I have experienced myself as a black Muslim. And I would be remiss as a man. I would not be a man, which is part of my identity. And a man stands on code, principles, honor, and respect, and ethics. I would not be a man if I were to sit here and come on this YouTube channel and say that, the Ummah is perfect, or that the anti-black racism in the Muslim Ummah is not a big deal. It is one of the biggest problems in the Ummah, okay? It is one of the biggest problems, and I will always stand on that. And I don't care who likes me, okay? I don't care who likes me. I don't care who dislikes me. I'm always going to stand on that. Gonna go to the comments real quick. Mr. Strawberry says, follow your dreams and passion. I try to do that every day. I'm going to university. My dream is to become a PhD professor in sociology, and I'm following my dreams here. Mr. Strawberry said, I got new video from Singapore, sir. I don't know if you're saying that you have a new video, but I might check it out later, Mr. Strawberry. Drop a link in the comments. We might watch it. Plug your channel, everybody. If you have content, put it in the comments. Let people see it, right? I am from Singapore, sir. Shout out to Singapore. I would love to travel to Singapore. I was this close to traveling to Singapore. I went to Indonesia. Shout out to all the people in Indonesia. They're very nice, very respectful, very kind. Indonesia is a beautiful country. You have to go there. I went to Malaysia, and I love Malaysia. Definitely want to go back to Malaysia, but I did not get a chance to go to Singapore. I would love to. All right, so Pellan Vonslow says, there was a Naqshbandi sheikh in the U.S. who was black. He died a couple of years ago. Interesting. Once again, guys, I am not an alim. I'm not a sheikh. I have no idea what Naqshbandi means. You got to explain that to me. My relationship to Islam and being a Muslim, for me, is about having a connection and remembrance of God and trying to follow the ways that the Prophet lived, right? Once again, guys, I am not the perfect Muslim, and this is not the channel for you to project, your beliefs about Islam onto somebody else in a parasocial relationship. I will never be perfect. And also, you will never be perfect as well, because nobody will be as perfect as the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, right? Nobody will be as perfect as Muhammad, Rasulullah, right? But we can always try. We can always try, and we can always just be in remembrance of God. Say Alhamdulillah, Subhanallah, remember the day of judgment. We have to remember that death is always near us, and that we need to be ready at all times for that. We need to be fasting during the month of Ramadan. These are the things that I do. These are the things that I try to do in my life. But, I know I need to get back on the Sirat al-Mustaqim. But, it's... There's no excuse. There's no excuse for a Muslim not to be on the Sirat al-Mustaqim, if I'm being frankly honest, right? And this is a shortcoming of mine. But one of the things that I try to do to give back to the Ummah, to give back to the Muslims, is by showing different parts of the world where the Muslims are, right? And just being myself. But also speaking out against anti-black racism, no matter where it comes, right? This is the most prominent thing to me, because even though I am a Muslim, when I walk outside, nobody knows. If I were to go to Finland, if I were to go to Saudi, if I were to go to Nigeria, if I were to go to Canada, if I were to go to Brazil, nobody knows, and frankly, nobody cares that I'm a Muslim, because I will be treated and viewed as a black man. My black identity comes first in the eyes of the world. Because unless I'm wearing a thobe or a kufi or a keffiyeh, nobody would even have the inclination to think, let's treat this man different because he might be a Muslim, or his Muslim identity will matter, right? And living as a black man, we will have to deal with different sorts of circumstances and consequences just for our existence, because we live in a world where black people are treated differently. I see the people watching this live stream are leaving. I see the people tuning into what I'm saying are dropping out, because you expected this to be a Muslim coming in here saying, Alhamdulillah, Subhanallah, Assalamu alaikum, a very timid, a very insecure, a very non-masculine black man who has submitted wholly to Allah and to Arab identity and Islamization, right? Well, that will never be that. My Muslim identity is important to me. but my black identity is how I have to live and view this world primarily first. All right, gonna go into the comments here. They know you speak in truth, said Alfonso. Keep your head up, bro. Thank you, Alfonso. Shout out to you. Black Dragon says, yo, yo. Shout out to Black Dragon. Yo, yo. But yeah, I only got about 10 more minutes to come on the live stream and chop it up with the people. But places that I wish to travel in the future, I had somebody in the comments said you need to come to Afghanistan, and I would actually like to. I would actually like to see Afghanistan, and I don't know if my wife would be able or want to come with me to Afghanistan, but I would like to see how the Ummah is out in Afghanistan. There's a YouTuber, a female YouTuber named Mary Jane, who traveled to Afghanistan, and she actually had a pretty good time. She said everybody was very respectful, very, very kind, and this was after the U.S. left. So this is, current Afghanistan, the Islamic Caliphate of Afghanistan, the Emirate of Afghanistan. So I would like to travel there. It's also interesting because Mary Jane also did a video where she went to Egypt and she had a horrible time. And by the way, Mary Jane is black. Y'all go support her, watch her content and all that sort of stuff. But I would like to travel to Afghanistan. I think an interesting place to see how the Ummah is would be in Japan. I would like to go to Japan as well and see how the Muslims live out there. I would imagine that the majority of Muslims in Japan come from Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, Philippines, that sort of stuff. Australia as well, that would be interesting to see. I think there will be a lot of Southeast Asians there, so a lot of Indians and Pakistanis there as well. But, I would just like to see. One of the most interesting things that I've noticed while going to the different masjids is how people pray. One of my favorite places to pray was in Indonesia, because in Indonesia, it's sort of customary after you pray to shake the hand of the person that you're praying next to, right? To your right or your left, after you do the salam alaikum, you shake the hand of the person here, and you shake the hand of the person here. Also, I like that in Indonesia, they pray feet to feet. I know in other masjids, they like to keep space between the feet, but I was taught to, if you have your feet next to somebody else, you put your toes next to them. So I like that. All right. Musty Mancha says, love and respect, brother. May Allah bless you. Shout out to Musty Mancha, and the same to you. May Allah bless all of you. May all of you be blessed by God. So, even though I'm getting all this love, and I appreciate the love, I hope that the Muslims have the same sort of love or the same sort of fervor when speaking out against anti-black racism wherever it appears in the world. Because even though I'm getting a lot of love from Singapore, from Saudi, from Finland, all these people in the comments right now, I have to ask you, as a Muslim, what are you doing about the anti-black racism that exists in Saudi? In Saudi Arabia right now, there are plenty of Ethiopians who are trying to cross the border there because they are fleeing a war, a genocide that's happening in Ethiopia right now. And the Saudi government is killing those people literally crossing the border. They wouldn't do that to Ukrainians. They wouldn't do that to Russians. They wouldn't do that to any other type of people. But the literal Saudi government is killing people that are trying to cross the border, seeking freedom, seeking opportunity, seeking safety and refuge. Is that Islamic? In Finland, there have been countless stories of black people who have been living there, who have experienced explicit anti-black racism to their face. There's even a study out there that says black people who live in those Nordic countries are more likely to develop depression and other psychosocial disorders and that sort of stuff. What's up with that? Where are the Muslims speaking out against that? And everybody's dropping out of the chat now. I went from having 21 people in the chat to 3. And I wonder why. And this is one of the biggest problems in the Muslim Ummah. Everybody loves to talk about the Muslims are the most peaceful people. The Muslims are the people who don't discriminate, who don't see color. They love to bring up Bilal. Bilal was black. Therefore, no Muslim can ever be racist because there was one prominent black Sahaba with the Prophet Muhammad. Therefore, no Muslim can ever be racist, right? So this is the thing, right? The Muslims don't like to hear about themselves. And I am only here to challenge the powerful. Allah tells us to speak out against injustice wherever it may be, from whoever it may come from. But people don't want to hear that. All they want to do is circle jerk. All they want is a pat on the back. All they want is validation. And my channel will never be that. So I want to make this very clear. Very clear. I love all the Muslims. But if you are coming on this channel and you are not militant, if you are not adamant, if you do not have a fervor to speak out against anti-black racism or talk about anti-black racism or learn about anti-black racism or white supremacy through the lens of a true Muslim, even though I'm not perfect, this is not your channel and you can unsubscribe. I repeat, my channel will not be a bunch of Quran reading. It will not be a bunch of talk about the Ummah is perfect. I will not be a black man who avoids the issues dealing with my black identity. And even though I am a Muslim and I love all the Muslims, this is not your channel, okay? You will not see another YouTuber out here doing this. A bunch of other YouTubers, when they get an audience, all they want to do is feed that audience. All they want to do is tell that audience exactly what they want to hear. I will never do that. I will never do that. My name is Simon Hill, and I'm always going to keep it trill. Trill. And if you don't know what trill means, definitely you shouldn't be on this channel. But I'll say this. I am not going to be your lapdog. I'm not going to be your token black person. I'm not going to be your mouthpiece for whatever type of ideology you have. I'm always going to speak from my black experience and keep it real, honest, black, and raw. So that's all I really got to say. Pelesh van Sloor said, also against the Russians at the moment. Okay, I don't know what you mean. I know Finland and Russia have an interesting history because Finland went to war with Russia, and, Russia's right on their border. And, Russia is acting very aggressive right now. But peace to Finland, and I hope there's an end to the war in Ukraine and Russia can get its act right. But, that's really all I got to say. I got to get back to work. I'm about to go to class. I invite everybody, whoever's still listening. I started off talking about the Muslims and I love the Muslims. And then as soon as I started talking about anti-black racism, all the Muslims said, oh, salaam alaikum. Talk to you later, inshallah. Anyway, I invite everybody to come to the live stream that I'm going to do later today, where I'm going to talk about anti-black racism in the Arab world. And I'm going to come with receipts and facts. I'm going to come with receipts and facts talking about anti-black racism in the Arab world. I invite all the Muslims to come in. I invite all the Muslims to drop their knowledge. I invite all the Muslims to speak out against this. But I wonder who will actually show up. Allah calls many, but the true believers are few and far in between. Anyway, Musty Mancha says, may Allah curse racism and curse racists, Arab or no Arab, Muslim or no Muslim. I like that, Musty Mancha. I'm going to end this live stream now. Got to go to work, guys. Salaam alaikum and